It all started on a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday. I was on the Kippy SMP, my own server, and I was so bored. I was just mining. Down in the dark, just me and the sound of my pickaxe. Click-clack, stone after stone. I had everything on that server. Diamonds, netherite, a massive castle. But what's the point of having everything if there's no one to fight? No chaos, no drama, it was just quiet, too quiet. I remember staring at a block of cobblestone for a full minute just thinking, is this it? Is this all there is to Minecraft now? I wanted action. I needed something to happen. I was a man without a war, a king without a kingdom to defend. Then, like a sign from the gods, a message popped up. It was from my mate, Malachi. He's a good lad, Malachi. Always up to something. The message was simple. Kip, new SMP. It's PvP. You in? My heart literally jumped. PvP. That's what I was missing. Not just building, but fighting. A real realm with real stakes, where you could lose everything in a second. He told me it was run by Scratchy, one of my best friends, honestly. We go way back, and I knew if Scratchy was running it, it was going to be good. The rules were simple, the kind I like, no hacking obviously. You could form teams, and the most important rule of all, no killing on day one. A day of peace, a day to prepare for the absolute chaos that was coming. I was so in. I typed back yes faster than I'd ever typed anything in my life. But here's the thing, I'd never actually joined a PvP SMP before, not once. The idea of it was honestly a bit terrifying. I kept picturing Scratchy and his crew just waiting for me, ready to gang up and absolutely humiliate me the second I logged in. My mind was running wild with all these worst-case scenarios. But of course, that was just dumb anxiety talking. None of that happened. No one jumped me, no one tried to embarrass me. It was just a bunch of people all a little nervous, all just as new as I was. I realized I'd let my imagination get the best of me. The boredom was over. The war was about to begin. I said my goodbyes to the old world, the quiet world. I didn't even look back at my castle. It was just a pile of blocks now, a monument to a time of peace I no longer wanted. My mind was already on the new realm. What would I build? Who would be my enemies? Who would be my friends? The possibilities were endless, and that was the most exciting thing in the world. I was ready for a new story, my story. The story of Kip, the greatest PvP player this new world would ever see. Or at least that's what I told myself. I felt a surge of energy, a purpose I hadn't felt in ages. I was no longer just a miner, I was a warrior preparing for battle. The invite came through a few hours later. Not a server IP this time, but a Bedrock Realm invite. It felt like a ticket to a new life. I logged off the Kippy SMP for what I knew would be the last time in a long while. My hands were literally shaking a bit as I accepted the new realm invite. PvP SMP. It had a nice ring to it, a simple name for a simple purpose. To fight, to win, to survive. Malachi messaged me again. See you there. Don't die on the first day, idiot. I laughed. Classic Malachi. Little did I know how close I'd come to breaking that one simple rule, not by fighting, but by the realm itself. The stage was set, the players were ready, and I, Kip, was about to make my grand entrance. The launch was a disaster, a beautiful, hilarious disaster. When the server opened, it was just me and Scratchy, the server owner, who joined at the very start. The lag was immense. Blocks would break and then reappear. My character was stuttering across the landscape like he'd had one too many potions. And then, the spawn. Oh, the spawn. Scratchy hadn't quite set it up right. Instead of a nice, safe platform, we both spawned in mid-air, and we fell straight down into a massive, gaping ravine. Just the two of us, screaming as we plummeted into the dark. It was absolute chaos. I landed in a sliver of water at the bottom, my heart pounding in my chest. I had survived. Just all around me, people were panicking. Some weren't as lucky and had splattered on the stone floor. Their items, just a few starting maps and a piece of steak, scattered everywhere. Because of the no-killing rule, we couldn't just finish each other off. We were both trapped together in this big hole in the ground. It was like a weird, forced team-building exercise. We had to work together. We started punching trees that were growing on the ledges, throwing down wood to each other. We were enemies in waiting, but for now we were allies. We were the Ravine crew. Malachi and the others would join soon, but for now, it was just me and Scratchy, figuring things out and shouting instructions. It was funny, seeing us so helpless. Slowly, painstakingly, we started to build our way out. We made a giant, ugly staircase out of dirt and cobblestone. It was a monument to our collective will to survive. I grabbed some wood, made my first pickaxe, and started mining. I needed resources, and I needed them fast. The truce would only last for 24 hours. Once the sun rose on the second day, this fragile piece would shatter, and this ravine would become a graveyard. I could feel the tension in the air. Everyone was being friendly, sharing resources, but we were all sizing each other up. Who was a threat? Who was an easy target? I kept my head down and just focused on gathering stone. Every block was a step towards survival. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I reached the surface. The sunlight was blinding. I was out. I was free. I looked back down into the ravine at the staircase we had built, a symbol of our temporary unity. I knew it wouldn't last. The game had truly begun. I saw a few other players scatter in different directions, running for their lives, trying to find a corner of the world to call their own before the bloodshed started. I had to make a choice. Run far away and hide, or stick around spawn where the action was sure to be. The first day wasn't over yet, and I had a lot of work to do. The clock was ticking. I decided to stay at spawn. It was a bold move, a stupid move maybe, but I had a plan. See, spawn is the center of the world. Everyone comes back to spawn eventually. If I could control it, I could control the server. So, while everyone else was running for the hills, I was building. Right there, on the edge of the very ravine we had just escaped from. I built a small wooden hut, a pathetic little box, really. But it was mine. It was a statement. It said, "I am here, I am not afraid." Inside, I set up a crafting table, a furnace, and a chest. My little kingdom was beginning to take shape. I felt powerful, I felt smart. I was, of course, an idiot. My master plan had a second phase. I needed to get to the Nether, fast. Nether portals are highways. They are the key to traveling great distances and getting rare resources. If I built one right at spawn, I could get anywhere on the server in minutes. So I dug down. I found a lava pool not too far from my base. It was perfect. I made a bucket and began the slow, careful process of crafting an obsidian frame. It was risky work. One slip and I'd be swimming in lava. But the thought of having the first portal on the server, right at the heart of everything, drove me on. I was going to be the king of this world, and my throne room would be a small wooden shack with a swirling purple gateway to hell. With the portal lit, I felt a sense of triumph. I had a base and I had a portal. I was ahead of the game. The first day was coming to an end and I was feeling pretty good about myself. I had some stone tools, a bit of iron smelting in the furnace, and a prime piece of real estate. I figured I was safe for the night. The no-killing rule was still in effect, and surely no one would bother looting a tiny wooden box on the first night. So, I logged off for a bit. I had to grab some food, stretch my legs. I left my character standing inside my hut, safe and sound. I was so naive, so trusting. It was the biggest mistake I could have possibly made. When I logged back on, my heart sank. The door to my hut was gone, just an empty doorway. I walked inside. My chest was broken, its contents scattered and gone. My furnace was empty. They had taken everything. My iron, my food, my spare tools, all of it, gone. I had been looted, robbed blind on the very first day. The peace treaty didn't say anything about stealing, and someone had taken full advantage of my trust. I stood there in my empty, violated little hut, with nothing but the clothes on my back and a stone pickaxe. The anger was immense. I wasn't just robbed, I was humiliated. My plan to control spawn was in ruins, and I knew right then and there that this server was going to be a brutal, merciless war. Defeated and empty-handed, I abandoned my spawn base. It was a monument to my failure. There was no point staying there. A sitting duck with no resources. I had to get away. I ran. I just picked a direction and ran as far as I could. The sun was setting on the first day, and the world was about to become a much more dangerous place. I needed to find shelter, a place to hide and recover. I felt like a refugee, an exile from a kingdom that was never even mine. Every shadow looked like another player waiting to hunt me down. The paranoia was real. I was alone, I was weak, and I was a target. It was a terrible feeling. This wasn't the grand start I had imagined for myself. My journey led me into a dark forest, and there I found the entrance to a cave. It was my only option. I plunged into the darkness, hoping to find safety and, more importantly, resources. The cave was a labyrinth of twists and turns, but before I could even get my bearings, I made a rookie mistake. I looked an Enderman right in the eyes. It teleported straight at me, and before I knew it, I was dead. Just like that. Respawned, angry, and even more desperate. I was furious. I picked a completely different direction this time, determined not to make the same mistake. I ran through the night, dodging mobs, my heart pounding with every step. And then I saw another cave. This one felt different. I dove inside, hoping for a miracle. Skeletons fired arrows at me from the shadows, and zombies groaned around every corner. It was a desperate fight for survival, but with desperation came a strange kind of focus. I had nothing left to lose. I fought with a ferocity I didn't know I had, my stone sword swinging wildly. And then, I saw it. A glint in the torchlight. Iron. Not just one or two veins, the walls were covered in it. It was a jackpot. I mined for hours. I felt like a dwarf from one of those fantasy books, hoarding my treasure in the dark. I collected stack after stack of iron ore. I was going to be the most iron-rich man on the server. And then deeper in the cave system, I found them. Diamonds. A cluster of 8 beautiful, shining blue gems. I literally shouted out loud in my empty room. This was it. This was the turning point. I went from having nothing to having everything I needed. I crafted a full set of iron armor, a diamond pickaxe, and a diamond sword. I was no longer a victim. I was a contender. I was back in the game, stronger than ever before. With my newfound wealth, I built a new base. This time, I was smarter. I found a remote mountain and hollowed it out from the inside. It was completely hidden from the outside world. A secret fortress. I set up my furnaces, my chests, my enchanting table. This was my refuge, my real base. From here, I would plan my revenge. I was feeling strong, powerful, and ready to take on the world. But I was still alone. I messaged Malachi, telling him about my amazing comeback and my new secret base. I needed my friend, my ally, but his reply was a gut punch. Dude, I can't. I'm grounded. My mom caught me playing until 3 a.m. Just like that, my only ally was gone. I was truly on my own. Being alone on a war server is not a good time. For days, I just stayed in my mountain fortress, gathering resources, enchanting my gear. I was probably the most kitted out player on the entire server with full enchanted diamond armor and tools. But I was also the loneliest. I would see messages in chat, players from other teams talking, laughing, planning, and there I was, a one-man army with no one to fight for. I missed the chaos, the teamwork. I missed having a mate like Malachi around. It was a strange feeling to be so powerful yet so isolated. I was a king in an empty castle, and the silence was deafening. Then one day a message came. It was from Scratchy, the server owner. He'd heard about me, this mysterious player with insane gear who never showed his face. His team had taken some big losses and they needed a heavy hitter. He invited me to join them. "We have a base," he wrote. "It's safe. It's hidden. We need you, Kip." This was my chance. A chance to finally be part of something. I was hesitant at first. Could I trust them? But the loneliness was worse than the risk. I accepted his invitation and he sent me the coordinates. The journey to their base was nerve-wracking, but the thought of having teammates push me forward. Their base was incredible. It was built deep underground, a sprawling complex of tunnels and rooms hidden beneath an unassuming patch of forest. And the farms! They had secret, automated farms for everything. Iron, gold, food, experience points. It was a logistical masterpiece. My mountain hole looked like a joke compared to this. I met the team Scratchy, a decent leader, a quiet builder named Lily, and a guy named Alex who seemed a bit too eager, a bit too friendly. They welcomed me with open arms. When they saw my gear, their jaws dropped. I was instantly their best equipped player, their secret weapon. For the first time, I felt like I belonged. We were a team. We were a family. But families can be broken. The drama hit us like a creeper explosion. We had been planning a major attack on our rival team, led by a ruthless player named Jackson. We were getting ready, stocking up on potions and arrows. Then, one afternoon, disaster struck. I logged on to find alarms blaring in our base. Redstone lamps were flashing everywhere. And then I saw the damage. Half the base was destroyed, blown to bits by TNT. Our chests were looted, our farms were wrecked. And standing in the middle of the rubble, wearing diamond armor that looked suspiciously like ours, was Jackson. He just typed LOL in the chat and logged off. We had been betrayed. Someone had given him our coordinates. And we all knew who it was. Alex was gone. He had sold us out. The betrayal cut deep, deeper than any diamond sword. Alex had been one of us. We had trusted him, shared our secrets with him, and he had sold it all for a spot on Jackson's team. The anger in our group was insane. Scratchy was pacing back and forth, punching walls. Lily was quietly trying to salvage what she could from the wreckage, but you could see the hurt in her eyes. Our home, our sanctuary, was gone. It was a smoldering crater. Jackson hadn't just destroyed our base, he had shattered our trust. We were vulnerable, exposed, and homeless. We couldn't stay there, it wasn't safe anymore. Jackson knew where it was and he would be back to finish the job. We grabbed what little we had left. A few stacks of cobblestone, some food, our personal gear. We were a team of refugees now, wandering the wilderness with no place to go. The mood was grim. All our hard work, all those secret farms, all gone in an instant. It felt hopeless. We were talking about what to do next, where we could possibly go to rebuild, when a thought hit me. A memory of a lonely mountain, a hidden fortress, my old base, the one I had built after being robbed at spawn. It was far away, completely secret. No one, not even Alex, knew it existed. I have a place. It's safe. It's a long way from here, but we can go there. A flicker of hope returned to the team. A destination, a chance. But there was a problem. My base was thousands and thousands of blocks away. Traveling that distance in the overworld would take forever, and we'd be easy targets for Jackson's team, who were probably hunting us. There was only one option, a dangerous, terrifying option. We had to go through the Nether. The Nether shortens travel distance by a factor of 8, but it's a death trap, a hellscape of fire, lava, and hostile mobs. It was a massive risk. We could lose everything, including our lives. But we had no other choice. It was either face the horrors of the Nether or wait for Jackson to find us and kill us. So we made our decision. We would make the journey. We stood at the portal in our ruined base, the purple swirls seeming to mock us. We took a deep breath. This was it, a desperate gamble to save our team. I remembered my lonely journey to build that base in the first place, and now I was leading my new family back to it. It felt like my story was coming full circle. I was no longer the lone survivor. I was a leader responsible for getting my team to safety. I looked at Scratchy and Lily, their faces grim but determined. Stay close. And whatever you do, don't die. We stepped through the portal, leaving our ruined home behind and entering the fiery heart of the Nether. The moment we stepped into the Nether, the heat felt real. The air was thick with the smell of sulfur and the sounds of ghasts crying in the distance. We were on a narrow ledge overlooking a vast ocean of lava. One wrong step, and it was all over. Our mission was to travel over 1,000 blocks through this hellscape to reach the coordinates of my secret base. I felt the weight of responsibility on my shoulders. I was the guide. I was the one with the enchanted gear. It was up to me to get us through this. The fear was real, but the determination to protect my team was stronger. We huddled together, swords drawn, and began our trek across the crimson landscape. It wasn't long before we ran into trouble. We were crossing a bridge of Netherrack when we were ambushed. Piglins, dozens of them armed with golden swords and crossbows, charged at us. They are usually neutral if you wear gold, but in our haste we had forgotten. It was a chaotic battle. Arrows flew past my head and the clash of swords echoed through the fiery caverns. I was in the front, my diamond sword a blur as I cut down piglin after piglin. Scratchy fought bravely beside me, but he took a heavy hit and was knocked back, teetering on the edge of the bridge. I saw the fear in his eyes as he looked down at the lava below. It was a moment of pure terror. In the middle of the fight, Scratchy started telling us a story. It was a mad thing to do. He was shouting over the sounds of battle about a time he fought off 3 players at once with nothing but an axe and a piece of bread. It was a war story, a tale of his own heroism. At first, I thought he'd lost his mind from the stress. But then I realized what he was doing. He was keeping our spirits up. He was reminding us that we were fighters, that we had survived worse. His story, as crazy as it was, gave us a surge of adrenaline. We pushed the last of the piglins back, and I managed to pull Scratchy to safety just as his footing gave way. We had survived. We were battered, but we were alive. Our journey continued. We navigated past a bastion remnant, a huge, dark fortress filled with even more dangerous mobs. We were tempted by the loot inside, but we knew it was a risk we couldn't afford. We had to keep moving. The biggest scare came when a gas blast destroyed the pathway in front of us, separating Lily from me and Scratchy. She was trapped on a small island of Netherrack, with lava all around her. Just as she was about to make a desperate jump, I remembered something. I had a potion of fire resistance I had found in a chest ages ago. I threw it to her across the gap. She drank it just as another fireball hit her, knocking her straight into the lava. We watched in horror, but then she emerged completely unharmed. The potion had saved her life. It was a miracle. Getting through the Nether was one thing, but getting out was another. We finally reached the coordinates for my base, but we were still in the fiery dimension. We needed to build a new portal to get back to the overworld. The problem was, we were low on obsidian and didn't have a diamond pickaxe to mine anymore. We had to find a ruined portal, one of those broken gateways that spawn naturally. It was our only way out. We searched for what felt like hours, our food supplies dwindling and our nerves completely frayed. Every gas cry made us jump. The Nether was starting to feel like a permanent prison. We were so close, yet so far from safety. We found one, a ruined portal, half buried in Netherrack. But it was a trap. As we started to repair it, Jackson's team ambushed us. They must have followed us through the nether. The fight was brutal. It was 3 against 3, a desperate clash for survival next to the portal. I went straight for Jackson. Our diamond swords clashed, sparks flying. This was for our base, for the betrayal, for everything. But they were strong. Lily was cornered and Scratchy was taking heavy damage. It looked like we were going to lose. Then, in a moment of pure chaos, a ghast fired a massive fireball right into the middle of the fight. It sent players flying. It also lit the portal. It was our escape. We didn't hesitate. Go! Lily and Scratchy jumped through the shimmering purple gateway. I held off Jackson for a few more seconds, landing one last good hit on him before I leaped through myself. We tumbled out into the overworld, the cool night air a shocking contrast to the heat of the nether. We were back. We were alive. We had made it. We looked around and saw the familiar shape of the mountain against the stars. We were at my base. We were home. The relief was overwhelming. We had been through hell and back, but we had done it together. We sealed the portal behind us, cutting off Jackson's pursuit. For now, we were safe. We spent the next few days rebuilding, not just our supplies, but our team. Living and fighting together in that hidden mountain base forged a bond between us that was stronger than any wall. We were no longer just teammates, we were survivors, and we wanted revenge. We geared up, brewed potions, and crafted the best weapons we could. We found out from a stray message in chat where Jackson's new base was. It was time to pay him back. We launched a surprise attack at dawn. The fight was glorious. We tore down his walls, looted his chests, and reclaimed our stolen items. Standing in the ruins of his base, just as he had stood in ours, was the sweetest victory I have ever known. We didn't just win a fight, we won back our honor. After our revenge raid on Jackson, things changed. We were no longer the victims. We were one of the most feared teams on the server. Our mountain fortress became a legend, a symbol of our comeback. We expanded it, building new farms and better defenses. The three of us, me, Scratchy, and Lily, worked together perfectly. Scratchy was the loud, morale-boosting leader. Lily was the quiet, brilliant builder and strategist. And I was the fighter, the guy they sent in when things got messy. We were a proper team, forged in betrayal and fire. We even brought Malachi into the fold once he was finally ungrounded and our little family grew. The server was our playground, and we were having the time of our lives. The war with Jackson's team continued, but it was different now. It was a war between equals. We would have epic battles in the fields, strategic raids on each other's outposts. It was less about bitter revenge and more about the sport of it all. We respected them as enemies, and the competition made the game exciting. The server was thriving with drama, with stories, with alliances and betrayals happening every day. This was exactly what I had been craving back when I was bored out of my mind on my old peaceful server. This was living. This was the magic of a world where everything you build can be lost, and every friendship is tested. We were planning our final, ultimate attack on Jackson's main stronghold. It was going to be the climax of the season, the final battle to decide who truly ruled the server. We spent a week preparing, gathering resources, planning every detail. The hype was real. Everyone on the server knew this fight was coming. It was all anyone could talk about. This was going to be our moment, the culmination of our entire journey. From that first chaotic spawn in the ravine to this final showdown. We were ready to write the last chapter of our story. We were ready to win, but we never got the chance. The day before the planned battle, the server went down. We all thought it was just a normal restart, but it didn't come back up. Hours turned into a day, and then Scratchy posted a message in our group chat. The server file was corrupted. A bug had destroyed everything. All our builds, our items, our progress gone. The entire season was over just like that. There was no final battle, no victory, no conclusion. It was a strange, anticlimactic end to such an epic adventure. We were all gutted. But as we talked, we realized something. We might have lost the world, but we hadn't lost what we'd built. We had our team, we had our friendship, and we knew, without a doubt, that we'd all be there, ready for season 2.